Lifting his head, Lir almost forgot to breathe as the biggest swan told him of his wife's evil deed. "Oh, my children," he cried, "my poor children! But don't despair. I will make Aoife take back this wicked spell. Stay here. I will soon be back." And he rushed off to the fort. Aoife sat calmly brushing her hair. "What have you done?" cried Lir, shaking her by the shoulders. "Are you crazy? You know how much I love those children. How could you do such a thing? Come at once and take back that wicked spell." "No, Lir," Aoife replied. "You are all mine now. Your children have gone. Who cares about a few swans?" Lir begged and pleaded and threatened and screamed, but Aoife went on brushing her beautiful hair. Then Lir called on all his powers of his god ancestors, and in a terrifying rage he changed Aoife into a demon. With a terrible screech, she vanished into the air, leaving only a trickle of ashes and the stench of burning hair. Lir rushed back to the shore and told the children all that had happened. And though he tried and tried, he could not free them from Aoife's awful spell. He cried as he touched them, stroking their feathers. Now there was no power on earth that could save them. All that day long, Lir stayed on the shore, and when night came, he would not go home. "You will get cold," his servant said, "and it looks like rain. Tomorrow you can come again." But he would not leave. So they built a little fire to keep him company. Friends came to keep him company, for the news had spread. When morning came, more and more people arrived to comfort Lir, and some just to stare. Eventually, Lir had a hut built on the shore. He slept there at night and spent every day with the swans. He mourned for his children, but at least he could speak with them. Years passed. Lir grew old. One wet winter day, he caught cold. His poor, tired heart could not take any more, and he died. The swans were heartbroken. In time, the hut rotted away, and people stopped coming to the lake. Winters came and went. All the time, Fionnuala cared for her brothers and tried to keep them cheerful and brave. At last, 300 years were over. The people who had known Lir and his children were long since dead. One morning, the swans left the lake and flew north to the Sea of Moyle. Only one little girl looked upwards and wondered if they were the children of Lir. The Sea of Moyle was harsh, and wild north winds lashed with icy splinters. Snow whirled so fast that the swans could scarcely see. Time after time they were dashed apart, their feathers stiff with ice. Winter gales hurtled them towards sharpened rocks, but whenever she could, Fionnuala kept her brothers under her wings, singing to them the songs they knew when they were children. She reminded them of happy times that were past and the wonderful days they had spent with their father. And somehow they survived those 300 long, bitter years. When their time was up, the swans gladly flew south-west. They landed on the island of Inishglora. The wild Atlantic was rough and cold, but nothing could be worse than what they had already endured. Here, summer brought gentle winds and sunshine to warm their bones. By now, the swans were tired and old. They had almost forgotten how to speak. Still, Fionnuala encouraged them and reminded them of Aoife's words that one day they would be set free by the sound of a holy man's bell. And so the time went on. One evening, as the sun set, Fionnuala lifted her head, listening. Yes, there it was again, the clear, sweet ringing of a bell. Surely this is the sound we have been waiting for, she cried. Let's go ashore at once. They stumbled onto the strand. Clumsily, they climbed up steep grassy path to a group of stone huts. A man came out. He was surprised to see swans at his door, but when Fionnuala, he staggered back. Don't go, she begged. My brothers and I need you. Please, listen. She told him their story and all that Aoife had said. You are safe now, said the man when he heard. That was the sound of Holy Patrick's bell. I will take care of you for the rest of your days. The good man kept his word. He fed the swans and made them a cosy nest. Night after night he listened as they told of times long gone and all that had happened since. Then, one day, as he reached out to touch them, their feathers fell away. Fionnuala and her brothers were human again. They were 900 years old. The good man had scarcely blessed them when they died. Tenderly he buried them in one grave. That night, 5 stars swooped across the glittering sky. He knew then that Lir and his children were together again in some beautiful, far-off place.